you are already highly sensitive person, highly sensitive being. You are able to take in information and to assimilate, to understand, and that means that your pace, your speed, it looks much more slower than other persons. So for example, I have a partner who is manifesting generator, and when he goes through something or goes over some problem, what he does, he is able to kind of do quick, snappy decision, or just to get from point A to point B, because that's very kind of like a clear for him, very immediate. There is not much details that would say be like you cannot see the forest through the trees. For us projectors, this experience might look completely different. For example, if I am going through the same decision or the same point of getting from A to B, what happens, I get all of that information. If we go there, or if we do this, how about this, how about that? Noticing subtle sensations, noticing subtle ifs or additional inputs, and then the decision making or getting from point A to point B is no longer so simple, because there is piles and piles of more and new information. So for example, is it much easier to make a decision when you are just able to kind of like pick up A, B, C, and then okay, so I have these 4 things and now I need to make a decision. But when you have a whole alphabet and more, then it's a little bit different. What I have noticed in my experiment is when I have too much input coming in, for example, if I am connected to some sort of device, my laptop or my mobile, and I am constantly checking for something, or I'm following up on something, or reading all my emails, updates and things like that, I very quickly become overwhelmed, because in every input that is coming my way, I receive so much more information. And I think this is not only words. For example, let's take email. It's not only the words of the email, it's the actual energetic feelings, energetic information that would come with the emails. So if I have all of that coming towards me and I am consuming it, or I'm taking it in, I am very quickly becoming exhausted. And it might look from the side like, okay, but you haven't done anything. So it looks like I haven't done anything, and if you're a projector, you probably relate. It may look like you haven't done much, but you already feel completely exhausted or tired. And it is to do with allowing all of that information to come through us, via us, to us. What works for me, I've noticed, is being very conscious about what information I'm taking in, or how much information I am taking in. So the truth is, we don't need to know everything. We don't need to know everything. We don't need to read every email. And the same even with if somebody's asking for our energy and we need to respond to something, we don't have to do it on demand basis. So we don't need to do it on demand basis. We have to respect our energy. So where we are with our energy right now. So for example, I have that with people that I work with on one-to-one basis in emotional integration and coaching. I sometimes receive an email and there is an input required from me, aka invitation. However, sometimes I just don't feel like it is the right time to respond. So it could be that something else is going on in my system, or it could be that something else is going on in the system generally, or it could be that the clarity has not come through yet for me to provide the response. So what I started doing is to do this attuned type of response. I am waiting for the time where I feel I'm clear. And when I'm clear, this is the time when energetically speaking, I have the information and energy to respond. I have noticed when I am providing responses from the place where I don't have energy to share, it's not so good. It's not so good, as in my insights are not so good, and probably the energy that is coming with that is also not so good when I am in a full energy mode or in a healthy, balanced, energetic state for myself in my own environment. Then I'm able to give more. For us, for projectors, the saying that first of all fill your own cup is very, very relevant. And I think it's not just that. Filling our own cup for us also means protecting that cup from all the type of other liquids being poured in. We need to choose consciously not to participate in certain energetic exchanges. Especially, for example, there is someone who wants something from you, but you're not aligned, and then keep on bombarding you with either information or invitations, something asking for your attention and energy. What we need to do is just be very clear with our boundaries. Okay, this is not something that I choose to participate, and just close the door for that, at least for that time, when it is not aligned to participate. I also feel that our clarity of perception is way more to the point when we don't have so much data coming in. So this is also to do with the general, just kind of scrolling or reading through something. We love learning, so we also love watching some videos, educational type of videos, informational, opinions, interviews, and things like that. I also feel like I caught myself actually doing it. It's like, okay, I'm just listening to it, or I'm watching to this because I feel like I should, because this is something that's supposed to be useful, say something about energy work or emotional work. And I caught myself that I don't feel this drawn in thing going on. I don't feel that my attention is fully there, that I am absorbed by this. And this is when I taught myself to switch off from that. So we don't need to go through all educational programs, we don't need to know everything, only those things that we feel we're getting energy from. So this is a secret. Participating in interactions and consuming the things that gives you energy. If you feel like you are tired after that, it is a sign this is something that is taking energy out of you. So even if you are just looking at something, even if you are just listening to something, if you are forcing yourself to learn something, to know something, to hear something, and you're feeling tired after that, it's a sign it's actually taking your energy from you. And for us, for projectors, this is something that we should stay away from at all costs. So I hope this has been helpful for you. My name is Ruth Akab. I am Emotional Integration Guide. I used to have a longer name for myself, but I got the feedback that this is a little bit too long to remember. So now I shortened my specialty to Emotional Healing, Emotional Integration Guide. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.